Okay, we are going to go over some expectations for slides real quick. The character slide. All right. In this first column right here, okay, you are supposed to define the term that is listed in the very, very first column. So I guess in the second column, you're supposed to define the words. Now, you have to list the word in your definition and you have to make it into a complete sentence. Okay, so main character or protagonist. The protagonist is the person in the story that is the I can't see that from up here. The protagonist is the person the story is centered around. All right, the protagonist is the person the story is centered around. Okay, the protagonist of The Outsiders is Pony Boy. Now, once you define these, you have to look or think back to like what your characters have done and who they are and figure out who would be the protagonist, the antagonist, the dynamic characters, the static characters, the round characters, or the flat characters. Now, it is possible that some of these characters could show up under multiple roles, okay? Now, once you do that, you're going to go to the internet and you're going to Google an image for these characters and then you're going to put them in here. Most of these novels that we're reading, they have a movie. So there is going to be a character available for each person that's listed. All right? Any questions on this? All right? I'm going to go to the next one. All right, conflict. Now, internal conflict. What does the word internal mean? Dealing with something on the inside. All right, what does external mean? Dealing with something on the outside. Now, can you see an internal conflict? Okay, no. But you can read about an internal conflict based on what the characters are feeling, saying, and doing. Okay? So in this box right here, you are going to define internal conflict in the space provided to the right. The definition must be written in a complete sentence. So, an internal conflict is a conflict one faces within his or herself. All right? And in the box underneath it, you are going to think about a character in your novel that you know has faced an internal conflict. And you are going to tell me who that character is and describe the internal conflict that they have had. All right, so let's think about The Giver. What character in The Giver has faced an internal conflict? I've never read the book or watched the movie. Jonas. All right, what is Jonas's internal conflict? His internal conflict is whether or not to stay in the compound, okay? Whether or not to stay and not flee. But you've got to think when he realizes his dad is giving Gabriel or about to give Gabriel that shot that is going to take him out, he has an internal conflict, okay? All right, external conflict. In the space provided to the right, the definition must be written in a complete sentence. So an external conflict is describe an external conflict that occurs within the story. You must answer in a complete sentence. In Alabama Moon, comma, Moon faces problems with the law. All right, and explain why he faces problems with the law. Like, what has he done to cause the law to go after him? All right, any questions about this slide before I move on to the next one? Just hold on. Figurative language. This first column right here lists the word. The second column is supposed to be the definition in a complete sentence. You must include the vocabulary word in your definition and sentence. If you do not do that, you are going to be deducted 1 point per thing. All right? An allusion is used to call something to mind without explicitly saying it. Stay gold, Pony Gold. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Stay gold. All right? Now, if you cannot find an example of the figurative language in your book and you need to go to the internet to find an example of this, that is fine. All right? Point of view. In this column right here, okay, you are listing the pronouns that are associated with the first person point of view. And then in this third column, you're defining the terms. Make sure you start here. Okay, point of view is a particular way of considering a matter. All right. Then when you get down here to what person point of view is this story told, thoroughly explain your answers. All right, The Outsiders uses first person point of view because the narrator uses words like I, me, and my. Who is the narrator of this story? Pony Boy Curtis is the narrator of The Outsiders because the story is told from his point of view. You cannot just list a single name. You have to give me an explanation. You have to give me an explanation.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is this the only project that we'll do this year?
Well, we'll do 2 more.
Oh.
All right. You will do 2 more novels.
Dallas will have 0.
All right. Theme, moral, and motive. All right. What I want you to do is in this box right here, you're going to define theme in a complete sentence. Theme is da 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 da. Universal theme is, the moral of a story is, a motive in a story is. All right. And then you're going to give an example of the term from the book using complete sentences. Okay. I've listed some common themes in literature down here. Now, you will have to have read the book to be able to determine which one of these things might apply to your book. Okay? Thoughts and opinions. This slide right here, you can delete. Go ahead right now, click on the slide, and delete it. And to do that, you're literally going to click here, and you're going to hit delete. Now, you better make sure that it's the one that looks just like this. All right? You have to complete this one, thoughts and opinions. All right, you must provide an in-depth explanation of your response. You must use complete sentences. Each response should be a minimum of 5 sentences. What is your overall impression of the book? Did you like it or dislike it? Why or why not? Okay, how does this book relate to you or your life? If it doesn't, explain why it doesn't. Would you like to live in the character's world? Why or why not? Would you recommend this book to your friends?
No.
Okay, George.
When it says, like, would you like to live in the character, you mean like the main character or any character in the book?
The main character, any character in the book.
Yeah.
All right.
Delete that.
All right, summary. Okay, you're going to write a thorough summary of the book below. Your summary should be a minimum of 7 sentences. You may not copy and paste your summary. It must be original. A summary is a fact-based text. It is not opinion-based. You're not telling what you think about it. You are simply stating the most important parts of the book without plagiarizing. You are putting it in your own words, what took place in the novel. A clear, concise overview of what happened. Okay? Now, I'm going to go backwards just in case there's something on here. Oh, I know what we have. Let me go back and cover this plot diagram. All right, the plot diagram. All I'm asking you to do is to go to the internet and search plot diagram for Matilda, plot diagram for The Giver, plot diagram for The Outsiders. All right, you've got to be specific in your search. Something similar to this should show up. Now, you need to go back and check and make sure that your rising action, climax, falling action, resolution matches what's on this plot diagram. When you get your rubric back for rising action and climax, some of you are going to notice that you got the climax wrong. All right, and we're going to want to make sure that we get that fixed, okay? Resolution. All right, here's the term. You're going to define resolution in this box. Resolution is, now, what is the resolution to the story you read? Please be descriptive and type incomplete sentences in the space provided to the right. You must have a minimum of 3 sentences. How did your book end?
Well, there was no more pages.
All right, falling action. This is going to be very similar to your rising action slide, except you are listing and talking about events that occur after the climax, but before the resolution. All right, this would be anything that happens after the climax, but before the resolution. All right, climax. This you should have already done. Okay, I defined it for you because the computer will block it. Okay. Rising action should have already been done. Exposition should have already been done. And there are videos already posted in Schoology on how to complete these slides. Vocabulary, context clues, connotations, and denotations. Now, I have graded this and I have given you the rubric back. It is your job to read the rubric and see if there are any changes that need to be made to these slides. If you do not make the changes that are written down on the rubric, then you're going to end up making another bad grade on it. All right, this should have already been done. I went over thoroughly how to do this. It is already posted in Schoology. If for some reason you do not have this slide done, then it is going to be your responsibility to go back and to watch that video to see how to do this.
Somebody's calling.
I'll call back. All right, this should already be done. This should already be done. This slide should be left there. And then that. Now, plot diagram slide was due on 11/3 last Friday. Character slide was due on 11/3 last Friday. Point of view was due on 11/3 last Friday. Rising action was due on 10/27. Climax was due on 10/27. And figurative language was due on 10/27. The remainder of your slides are due by 11/15 and no later. The rest of your slides are due by 11/15 and no later. On 11/14, the day before we go on your field trip, you are going to take your novel test. Okay? So if you have not finished reading your book, then now is your time to listen to your novel while you work on your project. I should not hear anyone in this room talking. This is all you. All right, I'm not asking you to do anything that you cannot do.
I cannot read.
All right? Now, do not waste your time because I am going to post this video on Schoology. I'm going to post this video to Parent Square. And if I have to contact your parent about you not completing your project, I will make sure I personally email them this recording so that they know that you are having some time in class, even though I said that you are not going to have time in class. But I'm telling you now, when we go to complete Novel Project 2 and Novel Project 3, I will not give you this much guidance. You are going to be required to do it and have it done.